about it. But this is my initial concern. By changing the structure to a trust structure, we don't really solve anything unless the benefit changes, the premium changes, and the other changes are made. That's the driver. Regardless of who's operating it, if we don't make those changes, it's going to be too costly. My other concerns are, in no particular order, I'm concerned about carving out the uniform employees for health care because of the bargaining power that would result. We would have a smaller unit of people to negotiate with third-party administrators and healthcare providers than we currently have. Currently, the city provides healthcare for the uniform and the civilians. You get to group all those people, and you have that kind of bargaining power. And in our discussion about converting to the civilian plan, one of the benefits is we get to lump together the civilians and the uniform employees for purposes of bargaining for health care benefits. We won't have that. I am also concerned, and we need to do some research on this. I have personally had a client that had a trust form of health care, and yes, what Randy says is true. If you negotiate, you only pay this much, that's all you are legally obligated to pay. But if that amount is not enough, the trustees then have two choices, assuming you're not at the end of a collective bargaining agreement where they could negotiate something different. They have two choices. One is to raise premiums. The other choice is to cut benefits. And from my experience, trusts act too slowly with respect to either of those things. And yes, we could go ahead and say, but if that happens, it's the employee's problem, and the city isn't going to have to do anything about it. And that might be true from a legal standpoint, but I think from a moral standpoint, the city provides employees with health benefits, and it doesn't want them to be without health benefits. And in the situation that I had, it was back in 1989, the trust did not react quick enough to raise premiums or to decrease benefits, and the authority, the public entity involved, bailed them out with a $700,000 payment. No legal obligation to do so, but from a moral standpoint, they did it. And I think that's the temptation. And I haven't researched it. I'm familiar with, through hearsay, Philadelphia. The city of Philadelphia had a similar trust. They didn't react quickly enough to raise premiums or lower benefits. And I think the city there had to pay about $7 million to bail out. So I'm concerned about that. And maybe you can design some protections, but I think that is a fundamental concern. Like I said, the structure is very important, and I think, and I suppose all of this is just your initial proposal, but when I look at this, and the plan is for the city to cap its contribution basically at the current level, which is $12,000 or so per employee. That is still, in the city's view, $5,000 per employee higher than it should be. And we can talk about all these other cities around the state, but at the end of the day, this is San Antonio, and we are able to provide good health care for the civilian population at a cost of $7,000 per employee. We think we should be able to do that for the uniform employees, and whether it's through a trust or through the city directly, and I've raised my concerns about the trust, that should be the level of funding after a transition period. Those are random thoughts, and this is a new proposal to us. We want to go back and carefully consider it.